her, Lawrence. Feel her presence, her power. It'll be here soon. Coming from darkness to light.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Monster Madness. I'm Erica, and I will be the host of this movie this evening, and I'm sure my co-hosts are happy about it. Joined with me, as always, is Matt. Give me White Claws or give me Death Stein.
So I was mowing my lawn today, and I found a White Claw box in my front yard ditch.
Is that your secret stash?
No.
Just
yes.
He has a hole buried in his yard with his White Claws.
In the yard.
I have a White Claw pit out back.
And that other beautiful voice that you are hearing is Dan. I'm finally getting the hang of this podcasting thing, Gwen.
Hello. I didn't find any White Claws today.
In our lawn.
Just a normal day.
Yeah. Well, it's just a normal day when I find White Claws. So
yeah, I still haven't had one yet.
Oh, they're fucking good.
Do they sell 6-packs, I guess? Or do you... I've only seen them in cases, so I guess we'll have to find one.
I mean, it's cans. It might be like an 8 or a 12 pack.
Yeah.
Just get you the sampler pack.
That's what we're going to probably do.
There
and
it
then
is.
take yourself to Flavor Country. It's a big country.
God almighty. This week on Monster Madness, we will be discussing 2010's The Wolfman, starring Benicio del Toro, Anthony Hopkins, Hugo Weaving, and the beautiful Emily Blunt.
This is a little known fact, but in France, this movie was called Les Chit.
I literally thought you were just going to be an asshole.
So far, 2 people do not like this movie.
I was proud of that one.
I must get back to Talbot Hall and end this.
Lawrence, please let me help you.
Already have.
So yeah, as you can hear, not a lot of us liked it. 2/3 of us didn't like it. And I'm actually going to pull a Matt this episode and read from the Wikipedia page and then kind of just dive into certain things because this movie was filled with a lot of bullshit and fluff that was so unnecessary and just boring.
Well, this was an hour and 55 minutes, give or take, right? The original was like an hour and 10. And
this movie felt like 3 hours long.
Yeah. It's a really long-winded retelling that no one asked for.
Exactly. And it had a lot, just like Dracula Untold, it had a lot of potential, just like Victor Frankenstein. They all have all this potential, but I just don't understand why they can't execute it in a way where it's phenomenal. I don't get it.
Because nowadays, film creators seem to think people want things that they don't want.
I guess, but
I think they tried.
Let me just put something in perspective to you, because I'm sure Matt already knows this because he always looks up this stuff. This movie had twice the budget of Dracula Untold.
I didn't realize it was twice the budget. I mean, I'm looking at the budget in the box office, but I didn't realize that it was twice the...
I'm fairly certain. Don't come at me if I'm wrong.
For the costumes and the set.
Well, there was a lot of computer animated werewolves.
I'll get into that because that pissed me off so badly. That was my biggest gripe.
You were correct. It was actually more than double the budget.
Holy smokes.
Boom. What was it? 150, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I'm good.
Box office, 139.
That's not going to be a question later.
No, it's not.
It's not.
I made sure it wasn't. So, okay, I'm going to read off the first chunk of the Wikipedia because it's actually really short, and we're going to trash this movie more than we're going to discuss it scene by scene because it was bad. I can't reiterate that enough. So, in 1891, Ben Talbot is attacked by a wolf-like creature. Shakespearean actor Lawrence Talbot returns home after receiving a letter from Ben's fiancée, Gwen Connollyth, informing him of Ben's disappearance. Lawrence reunites with his estranged father, Sir John, who informs him that Ben's body has already been found and mutilated. At a local pub, Lawrence overhears the locals believing it to be a wild animal, but also blaming gypsies who are camped outside the town, while another claims that there was a similar murder, a similar murder 25 years earlier, and a werewolf was the suspected killer. Lawrence has flashbacks as he tours his family's home where his mother Solana committed suicide when he was a boy. Lawrence saw his father standing over her dead body. Afterwards, he was sent to Lambeth Hospital in London for a year, having suffered from delusions connected to the event. So that's the first paragraph of the synopsis so far. In reference to the 1941 version of this movie, Ben is alive for a brief hot second, but he gets mauled to death by a werewolf. Spoiler alert. He's not Larry in this movie, he's Lawrence.
No,
It's classier.
Very
that's-
classy.
Isn't that the full name? Of
It
Larry?
is, but they never call him Larry. They're not like, yo, Larry.
I did catch that today when I watched
So they were
it again.
fancying him up, and instead of being like a telescope repairman creeping in girls' windows, he's an actor.
I think so far. My favorite part from watching this, just the beginning of what was going on in there.
Yeah.
The part where he travels back home, he meets somebody on the train who has a similar cane to what you see in the last movie that we saw. So it's got the wolf on the cane.
So
It's actually
pointless.
what turns into a sword or a stake.
It was a really weird interaction because he's on this super long train ride home, which I want
I
to.
got a lot to say about that at the very end.
Okay, but real quick, in the movie, they even stated that Gwen sends Lawrence a letter trying to convince him to come search for her fiance, his brother, and they say it in the synopsis, but you never see it actually happen in the movie because she went and actually talked to him. Did I miss that?
She went and talked to him in person.
Okay.
I never saw the letter.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going crazy because I watched the beginning a couple times, like the first 10 minutes. I'm like, there's no fucking letter. I was like, did he just say that because his dad, who's played by Anthony Hopkins, is like this really cold and kind of, I don't really know how to describe him. He's just very cold and callous and he doesn't really give a shit about anything. When he tells Lawrence that his brother has been found and he's brutally mutilated, he's just like, oh yeah, it's really nice of you to come home. I hope you have clothes for the funeral because we found your brother dead the other day.
Well, do you think he's the type of guy, once his wife died, he was just distraught after that and just never the same?
Well, he says that later in the film that when she died, he died.
A little bit dramatic there.
A little bit. I mean, but, those of us who have emotions, Matthew, would be a little bit numb if our loved one passed away.
Alyssa cried while we were watching 90 Day Fiancé.
I'm leaving that in. Sorry, Alyssa.
She has admitted to me that she has yet to listen to this show.
That's okay.
She's like, I downloaded them, I just haven't listened to them. I'm like, okay, all I
Hey,
need is
man.
the download.
Yeah, that's all I need, man. Okay, so this is the second paragraph. It's a little bit shorter, so we'll take another quick break. Lawrence visits the gypsies during a full moon. The local townspeople raid the camp to confiscate a dancing bear they believe is the killer, but a werewolf attacks the camp and bites Lawrence before being chased away. A gypsy woman named Malva, I still don't know if we're pronouncing that right, Maleva?
Each movie they say it differently too.
I don't think
I'm
so,
not
but
sure.
I think we're just butchering it because we
Probably
don't care.
somebody will tell us.
Anyway, yes, they will.
Huh.
A gypsy woman named Malva sutures his neck, and it's a pretty graphic wound, but another gypsy insists that now cursed Lawrence should be killed before he kills others. Malva refuses, saying he is still a man and that only a loved one can release him. So, kind of going parallel with the 1941, Lawrence meets up with the gypsies in some form, gets attacked, and they nurse him back to health.
Well, he meets
Ish.
there because originally at the pub they talk about the bear, and the gypsies have this dancing bear, and they think the dancing bear is actually they're letting it loose and it's killing people. So them, the townspeople, and I guess the police officer or the inspector,
Scotland Yard.
the inspector,
Mm-hmm.
and all the people decide to go to the gypsies' camp to confront them and kill the bear. He already, suspects that it's not the bear, so he goes there to confront them about that.
I was impressed to see that Agent Smith was in this movie.
Mr. Talbot. I wish he did it like
That would
that.
have been different. So that's how he got to the camp.
I mean, I love Hugo Weaving, but he
Yeah, me too.
literally has one voice. He has one projection.
It happened to really work in The Matrix.
Yeah, for sure. And V for Vendetta, this movie, I can't think of anything else that he's been in, but...
I forgot he was in V for Vendetta.
All right, so Lawrence recovers unnaturally quickly and develops heightened vitality and senses, which I didn't catch at all when I watched it. His father's Sikh servant Singh shows Lawrence a set of silver bullets and implies that something monstrous is loose in Blackmore, which is where this all takes place. Inspector Aberline arrives to investigate the recent killings and suspects Lawrence is responsible based on his mental history. Fearing for Gwen, Lawrence sends her away. He follows his father to his mother's crypt where Sir John locks himself in a room alone and gives Lawrence a cryptic warning. Lawrence undergoes a painful transformation into the Wolfman before running off into the woods, killing hunters stationed there. Alright, this is where my major problem with this movie comes in, and it's that fucking transformation, and it's that stupid animated wolf that they came up with.
Transformers?
That would have been better.
I was actually really curious to see how they would do the transformation. It was super cheesy looking, and I didn't really care for it. I have a big problem in werewolf or any sort of transformation film where the clothes stay on. When you turn into an ultra man beast and somehow your shirt just is like tore down the titty.
The only one I feel like it actually works for, and it's actually my favorite Wolfman, it's my favorite transformation, it's the one in Monster Squad.
I don't remember that one.
Well, eventually look it up. The transformation in that movie and like American Werewolf in London, and I would say even Ginger Snaps, those are some of the best werewolf transformations I've ever seen.
Can I tell you a secret?
Sure.
I've never seen American Werewolf in London or Ginger Snaps.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
you got to see it.
They're going to show up in season 14.
Yeah, they are when we just do all werewolf movies.
Yeah.
In our theme. But no, they're really good movies. I think you actually will genuinely enjoy them.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
But what I think I said this in Dracula Untold, but where these movies really fail is when they don't use practical effects, when they just solely rely on CGI. Now, CGI is incredible. Like, we see movies today where they're de-aging people and it looks flawless.
Yeah, but fucking come on.
Like, if you see previews for that new movie coming out with Will Smith for Gemini Man.
I have a fun comment about that when you're done.
Okay. That looks pretty flawless to me when it comes to, like, the technology of de-aging. That CGI I can get down with, and like, you know, things exploding and all this other bullshit, Transformer movies like we keep mentioning for some reason while we talk about this shit. But like when you're transforming a guy into a creature of some supernatural ability, don't fucking rely on CGI and don't make him look so stupid. Like, I don't know who designed that werewolf, but they should be fired.
You don't think they mixed like a little bit?
Well, they clearly tried to...
Looked like they did.
They tried to make a beefier 1941 version of the werewolf, and just it didn't execute well. Like, I think the claws looked all right, but like that was about it. The feet looked dumb.
Well, like your statement, I think they did a lot of things they're trying, because like even the intro to this movie was old, like kind of black and white, had the globe, the universal. I mean, you're seeing some of the old props. I think they were trying to.
They were definitely trying.
Oh yeah,
trying to capture the old version, but also give some of the new technology we have today. They just didn't do a great job.
Yeah, they didn't execute well. What's disappointing is like when we look at Dracula Untold, that budget was less than half of what this got, and the graphics were way better.
Yeah.
I think they were within a couple years of each other, but they were probably filmed around the same time because both of these movies were filmed years before they actually were released. All of the movies, all the more recent movies that we've been covering, that's been kind of the story for all of them. So when you have almost double and a half of the budget, and I understand that they're using it for sets and costumes and all this other stuff, but if you're going to rely on CGI for like such important parts, do it better. But yeah, like I feel like if you have that type of resource at your fingertips, because, you know, I believe Benicio del Toro was a producer on this film, and it was supposed to be like this really big comeback for Universal monster movies, and it didn't execute well, in my opinion, when it came to the effects. The costumes, the sets, everything like that was gorgeous, but when it came to like the action sequences and all this other stuff, it really fell short, and they added so much to the story and kind of dragged it out. Like you said earlier, like this movie was less than 2 hours, but I thought it was closer to 3, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly.
It was a lot of travel, trains, horses.
So the next paragraph says, the next morning, Aberline and the police arrest Lawrence. Taken back to Lambeth, Lawrence is subjected to torturous, more advanced treatments overseen by, I'm just going to say Dr. H, because I don't know how to pronounce that.
Dr. Hergengerger?
Basically, that's almost exactly how I'm reading it.
Herninger? I think it's German. That's why I'm throwing the R where the E is.
Are you reading along with me?
Yeah, I am.
This
is the only way to know that it's almost over.
Sir John visits Lawrence and explains that 25 years ago in India, he was bitten by a feral boy infected with lycanthropy. Lawrence realizes that his father, as a werewolf, killed his mother and brother. Sir John informs him the moon will be full that night and leaves a razor in case Lawrence contemplates suicide. Now, Daniel...
All right, I got a few things to say.
He does have a few things to say.
For starters, the first time we see the father and then finally talking. They're in. It's right after the dinner. They're in. Are they still in the same room?
They're in the study.
They're in the study. He's looking at a telescope. What's he looking at? The fucking moon.
The moon.
So at that point, if we now know that the father is the original werewolf that bit Lawrence, wouldn't he have been changing into a werewolf at that time of standing in that room looking at the moon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that's like a oops. And then the
He's
cave
been dying
boy.
to say that.
I've been wondering this whole time. Do you think the kid in the cave is actually the person that gave Lawrence the cane? Because he kind of was like kind gesture, like I kind of know who you are, but here's this cane, and he was an older man, older than his father.
I don't think the writers or the filmmakers
Oh no, he
thought
wasn't
that
older than his father. He was
deep.
younger than his father. But I thought that would have been a good.
But if
point.
they were going to do that, then they should have kind of elaborated on
that's
that.
when he.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that was odd about that scene is like, who is this guy? Why is he giving him the cane? And so I was like, later on, I'm like, I wonder if that guy was the original werewolf.
Do you
gave him the cane?
Do you think that maybe they were just like, oh man, we should really put the cane in there? So I don't know, man, just go fucking give it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like didn't actually. There's no reason or backstory or nothing. There's no buffoonery happening here.
Because they're like, I was like, okay, so we got some things. We got the cane, we got the telescope.
It would have made more sense if they kind of just ignored that entire fact and had the cane be Ben's, and he found it like in his room or something and just took it because he wanted something of his brother's.
Like he was clutching onto it when he looked at the body or something.
Yeah, something like that. Something where it has some sort of connection because, I mean, in 1941's version, that was Lawrence or Larry.
From the girl.
Yeah, so it has some sentimental connection. This literally has nothing. It's literally some guy's trash that he left on a train because he wanted to, be a kind gesture to him.
He was also like, it's priceless. Like,
Yeah, then why the
like,
fuck
I
would you
spent
give-
so much money to have this. You should cherish
Yeah, why?
this. And
It didn't make sense. It didn't
didn't
like
at all.
line up with anything. It did not fit in at all.
Right.
So now at this point in the movie, we've seen Lawrence and Gwen like chit-chatting, and this was another issue I had because Gwen is now in love with Lawrence after 3 days.
Here's another big one that we're missing. When he's telling him the whole story about the kid and the werewolf, he also admits that he killed his mother.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a feral animal, like every time there's a full moon, so it wasn't controllable, but Lawrence was in shock because he must have witnessed it to some degree because he eventually sees his father holding his mother.
Well, I
Yeah.
think from all the torture from the asylum, it was probably drowned out of him.
That scene was painful to watch. Not the torture, because what they do is they put Lawrence on this like chair, they have him in a straitjacket, and
They
they
waterboard him.
like in this like ice bath. That was whatever you want to make out of that whole situation. The next scene where Lawrence eventually breaks out, which I'm sure is in my next paragraph, but I just kind of want to. The acting in that was so poor.
The acting in the entire movie was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think Emily Blunt and Anthony Hopkins did a good job with what they were given. I really actually like them both as actors in every movie that I've seen them in. I've never really had an issue with them. Benicio del Toro, I guess, I don't know if I'm not watching the right movies that he's in, but everything that I see him in, he agitates me. His character seems so pointless, or I don't get why he's attacking his character that way. He was in Star Wars with this guy with this weird little like tick, and then he was in Guardians of the Galaxy as some random character. Those are literally the only other two things I can actually recall seeing him in. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Benicio del Toro, but again, I could be watching the wrong movie. So if you guys have suggestions about a Benicio del Toro movie that I should be watching, please let me know, because I'm not going to do the research myself. I do enough. But all right, so the next paragraph, and we only have like 3 left.
Oh
By night-
boy.
Oh boy. And this will be news to Matt because he couldn't even finish the movie.
It was
It's
so
like he's-
bad.
It's like he's living it through our eyes. All right, so by nightfall, Dr. H conducts an evening lecture with Lawrence as a case study. Lawrence transforms into the Wolfman and goes on a rampage throughout London, with Aberline in pursuit. The next day, Lawrence visits Gwen's antique shop for help, which I didn't even know she had a fucking antique shop until this moment in time. They realize they are falling in love and share a passionate kiss. Aberline arrives and searches the shop, but Lawrence has already escaped to Blackmore. The inspector arrives there ahead of him and waits outside Talbot Hall, arming himself, accompanying policemen with silver bullets. As she travels back, Gwen searches for Malva in the hopes of finding a way to cure Lawrence, but all she receives is the gypsy's blessing.
Benicio del Toro is in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
I've never seen that. Is it good?
It's
Is
a
it...
fucking trip.
Well, Hunter S. Thomas was a trip.
Thompson, but yes.
Thompson? Did I say? What did I say?
You said Thomas, which is
Oh, my
fine.
bad.
You were close enough. Yeah, I've only seen it once, and it's a very, 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 very odd movie. He was also in Sin City.
Who the hell was he in Sin City?
Jack Rafferty.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh my God! Remember when that movie came out? That
Picture.
everybody's photos were black and white with one splash of color.
Yep.
It's fucking miserable.
Detective Jackie Boy Rafferty. Sheila's abusive former boyfriend.
Oh, okay. No, actually, I do remember.
Yeah. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to get you off, Doc.
No, you're good. Because oddly enough, I wanted to watch that the other day because I hadn't in a while. But so Lawrence arrives at Talbot Hall and finds the dead bodies of Singh and Constable Carter. He loads a gun with Singh's silver bullets and attempts to shoot his father, but learns that Sir John has removed all the powder from the cartridge years ago. The Talbots transform. This is the part that I really wish that you would go back and watch, Matt. It's the best part of the movie.
Is it actually good, or is it just so bad that it's
coming up? It's a good part.
fucking flying here?
Uh-oh.
Never mind, got it.
That was like some Karate Kid
Wax
shit.
off. Wax off.
Yeah, I'm a goddamn ninja.
If you can catch the fly, grasshopper.
It was a mosquito, so they're a lot easier to catch.
That doesn't fucking count as a... That doesn't count then. I take back my Karate Kid comment. The Talbots transform into werewolves and set Talbot Hall on fire as they battle. Anthony Hopkins as a werewolf is magical.
Well,
We
it's a
have
computer,
this
so
thing.
yeah.
No, I mean, this is a guy in a suit.
One doesn't have a shirt, and the other one has a shirt.
Yeah, Anthony
So now we
Hopkins
know
is
who's
shirtless.
fighting too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a reason for the shirt, dipshit. All right, so
It's the same shirt the whole time.
Yeah.
eventually Lawrence no, this is what it says. It literally says the Talbots transform into werewolves and set Talbot Hall on fire as they battle, with the Lawrence Wolfman emerging victorious. Lawrence Wolfman. So I really enjoyed that. Yeah, Lawrence decapitates his father.
He had it coming.
You're not wrong.
I mean, that's
As
not
Matt-
that's not
as
the
Matt
first
Simon
person that
said.
he decapitates either.
Well, yeah, I mean,
True
he
that.
does have it coming because he killed his mother.
Killed
and
everybody.
he killed his son, and he was kind of like proud of it because he was like, I've been locking myself up for years until he started dating that girl, and then he just let
Oh yeah,
himself
it was like a total jealousy thing that he killed Ben.
Yeah.
He was like, she was gonna take her away from me.
So
I'm
I
like,
guess-
well, you're a dick.
Well, the
Yeah.
way he talks about his sons is that's the only reason he's got to live.
Yeah, but his one son was so estranged from him. Like, it took a quarter of the movie for you to realize that Lawrence had spent like a lot of time in America, which they don't tell you for a really long time. So I just thought that Benicio del Toro was just not doing a British accent on purpose.
So, do you think they wrote this in because he couldn't do a good British accent?
Probably.
They're like, fuck it. He spent some time in the U.S. Who cares?
Yeah, he is Americanized. So Gwen and Mr. Smith arrive, and Neo shows up, and shit goes crazy. No, enter Danny Glover. We need to get Randy on this show.
Okay.
Aberline attempts to shoot the Wolfman, but Gwen stops him, resulting in Aberline getting bitten right in the neck.
Yep. Inspector gets bit. So
So the Wolfman then pursues Gwen and corners her above a gorge. She pleads with Lawrence, whose consciousness recognizes her. Bullshit.
Yeah.
The police and hunters approach, distracting the Wolfman long enough for Gwen to shoot him. Lawrence reverts to human form, thanks Gwen for setting him free, and dies in her arms. As Talbot Hall burns, a howl is heard in the distance. Now Daniel has things to say about this howl.
it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
Well, you said you automatically think that it's Hugo Weaving's character is now the new werewolf.
yes, I
Because
do
he got-
think he's the new werewolf because he was just bit, but it's just odd because the way that the storyline goes is everybody's upset about Lawrence getting bit, so they capture him and throw him into, an asylum and getting checked out by a doctor. But the inspector gets bit, and everybody's just like
here's the thing.
patting him on the shoulder.
They didn't
Good job,
realize.
you killed the other one.
Well, calm down there, killer. They didn't realize that he was a werewolf. They literally thought he was just murdering people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they eventually saw him turn into a werewolf in front of like 50 people.
But Hugo was just like, we don't have to worry about it. He's dead now. I'm good. His butt is scratch.
As I bleed everywhere.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
Or it could have been still the little kid, the old man that gave him the cane. Because I think deep down, that's what I want it to be.
Daniel has his own movie.
I hope that one was better than the one that we watched.
You mean that me and Dan watched?
Yeah, because you didn't finish it.
Shut up, you guys. I had nothing else to say. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I mean, then another thing that you did say is they've tried to bring up the antique store, like just
randomly,
all the way at the end. Like it's just
they put so much.
That's another thing.
Needless detail into this movie. And then they're just like, oh, yeah, by the way, Gwen, she's a successful business owner all on her own in 1891 as a woman.
If they made this movie now, they would be like, man, that Gwen, she's a boss bitch.
If you don't do an entire episode in that voice,
there's no way I'm going to be able to.
This show is over.
I hope that episode is 3 minutes long.
So now that we have quickly made it through this movie because it's not something I enjoyed in any way, shape, or form, we're going to go straight into Questions of the Damned. I changed the music for a couple episodes. I kind of want you guys to reach out and tell me which song you like better. I'm kind of on the fence. I don't care what you two think, but listeners, tell me if you like the original or the new one that I just put in that's more of like a fun little 8-bit little song. You let me know. I can switch it back like that. So, Questions of the Damned, if you're paying attention at home, is 4-3 Dan.
Still winning.
Matt has the chance to tie. And as always, because he sucks so hard, he gets to go first.
Yay, default.
And it's funny because a lot of these questions are similar to the ones that were from the 1941's Wolfman, because it's all the same. I'm not asking you to do like long division. You'll be all right. You have options.
How many hairs are on his butt?
3 million.
Ooh.
All right, Matthew.
Dingleberries.
Ew.
Well, Wolfman's got a shit.
That's a thought, actually. Do you think in Wolfman form, like, he would shit?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so think about that. Hold on, before we even get into these questions, because this episode was short. Scat. This episode was kind of short because nobody cared about this movie. So, if you turn into a wolf and you eat a bunch of people, and then you turn back into a human, so then like
you're gonna be taking some big poops.
That's gotta be gnarly.
Yeah, your belly is gonna be full of people meats.
That's probably not going to be good for your digestive system.
I didn't think about the science behind that.
Yeah.
He's eating bone, or is he just like gnawing on the bone?
I think he's just tearing flesh.
Well, I mean, wolves themselves, I don't think they eat bones. I think they gnaw on them like most
dogs do.
Like canines. But all right, that was a thought. Anyway, all right, Matthew. How long did it take to apply this Wolfman's makeup?
0 seconds.
Well, I mean, you did point out that he was actually in a suit there at the end.
No, yeah, he was in a suit a lot of the time. So 6 hours,
okay.
3 hours, or 2 hours.
6 hours.
What's the 3? What's left?
6, 3, or 2 hours.
I'm gonna go with 3.
Stupid fucking game.
All right, Matt. True or false? This movie was shot in 2008, but was not released until 2010.
What?
False.
My God, you're terrible at this. It's
I can prove you wrong.
What are you talking about?
Please.
Get out of here. This isn't open-ended.
We have a challenge. We have the first challenge of Monster Madness.
Let's see.
You threw out a card. Eat the yellow card.
Fuck.
No,
I thought I could have swore it said 2006.
Oh boy.
Wolfman saw blah, 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 originally scheduled for a... Oh, no. It says originally scheduled for a 2008 release.
Now that we know this, think about this. Do you think the CGI, they should have waited and it probably could have been a lot
They
better?
should have just waited, period.
Oh, never mind. 2006, they announced it. 2007... 2000. Okay. Yep. Nope. Yep.
Oh, we're picking up the red flag, and Matt is charged a timeout. All right, Daniel. True or false? When the Wolfman is being chased in London, he jumps off of a building and lands on a policeman.
This is true.
This was accomplished with real actors and stuntmen, not CGI. You still gonna keep true?
You got that's a two-parter.
Yeah, you didn't let me finish. You're like true.
No, you got to go with the first
I'm gonna go with
answer.
true.
It's not his
Yeah.
fault.
I'm still gonna go with true because I do remember seeing that scene. So I'm gonna think I'm half right, which means I'm probably fully right. Because I don't know.
That's fucking man logic right there.
Just going with true.
Are you gonna stop talking so I can tell you?
Yeah.
My
Save.
fucking stupid cocksucker.
She's either gonna go fully wrong direction or it's gonna be true.
I hate this fucking game.
I think we should just let Matt win.
It's fine.
He seems sad. All right, Matt. Who was the original composer for this movie who at first had his score rejected only to be reinstated when they couldn't find a suitable replacement?
That's kind of messed up.
Right? Trent Reznor, Hans Zimmer, or Danny Elfman?
Danny Elfman.
Final answer?
I fucking don't even care anymore. If you're not watching the video, my mic stand broke. I'm holding the microphone and I'm so defeated I just have it smashed into my face.
Well, do a victory lap because you got that answer right.
Woo! Good job.
Only because I feel like if it was Trent Reznor, you would have heard a whole lot more. And
It would just like very industrial.
That's the
shitty.
answer.
All right.
Is that really the real?
I don't even think I can
No.
fucking win anymore.
No, if he gets this wrong, you have a chance to steal and you could tie it up and then I'll think of a new question. Which will
It's
most
3-1 right now.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah.
No, it's 2-1.
I got the first
Okay.
3 wrong.
Okay, yeah, he got the first one right after he stole it from you.
Oh, and then I
The
guess
second-
technically because I answered the second one for him, he
Yeah.
didn't get that one. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't get the point for that one.
What? Okay.
Look,
Whatever.
it's a new game. It's still
fine,
It's
yeah.
rigged.
infantile.
I'm just going to mansplain everything to Dan. It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm gonna win.
I know you
This, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
I'm ready.
All right. You look a little nervous. This
So
film
nervous.
was one of 2 werewolf movies to win Academy Awards for Best Makeup. Which was the other? American Werewolf in London, Wolf, or The Howling?
Oh.
It can't be that obvious. So I'm gonna go with the Howling.
Is that your final
That's
answer?
my final answer. Really?
Now, Matt, because I feel bad for you.
Just going to give me the answer. You're going to narrow
No.
it down to one decision.
Is it this or is it this?
Yeah.
This question will be worth 5 points.
Don't do that.
Well, I'll give you the opportunity. Well, no, it'll be worth 2 points since we already had one question negated. So you could take the lead and win. Dan needs to be humbled a little bit. It's my game. It's my game. Here's a
This is
couple.
why- Oh.
Here's a couple reasons why I'm doing this. 1, Dan needs to be humbled a little bit. 2, I live with him, so he really needs to be humbled. And 3, I feel a little bad for you.
I'm really bad at
And
trivia.
I don't feel any of those things.
And number 4, it's also my game, so I can make up whatever rules I fucking want. So, which was the other film to win Academy Awards for Best Makeup? American Werewolf in London or Wolf? Are you getting like the nervous sweats?
No, I got a fan on. I'm pretty comfortable. I'm going to go with American Werewolf in London because I've never heard of Wolf.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not fucking sure. I don't even know.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
You are correct.
Oh, okay. Is Wolf not a real movie?
No, Wolf is a real movie starring Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Huh.
It's a really
Maybe
good
I should've
movie.
went with the obvious one.
So
It seemed too
because it's
obvious.
my
I
game,
completely
and I-
agree with
What I
you.
thought.
Yeah.
Because it's my game and I make up all the rules, it is now 4-4. We are now tied. Matt, he is so mad at me right now.
I know he is. I can tell.
I can feel the heat radiating off of him in anger.
Dan, you realize that there's no trophy. There's nothing comes of winning this.
You never know.
No, there isn't, because
There's
actually-
a winner's circle.
There actually is a trophy.
no.
Can you
All
go?
right, I'll get it.
Get the fuck out of here. You got a trophy?
Hold on. I don't mess around when it comes to questions of the damned, because what we agreed a few episodes ago that whoever, keep it out of frame, whoever, here, put it, here, thank
Hold
you.
on, let me-
Whoever, all right, I'm waiting. Whoever wins
Hold on.
in each season,
Move the mic back.
okay, so whoever wins in each season has to get the other one a specialty beer.
Oh, I forgot.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm sure you did,
Ooh.
you fucking hot mess.
I already got you one.
I know you do. But if you win, you can drink it out of this fun trophy.
Dun 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 dun. For all your listeners out there,
Stupid.
it is a Jason's.
Look, it was the
I'm
cheapest
fucking with you,
trophy
man.
on Amazon.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
I was gonna have
alright,
him-
but
You can victory drink out of it.
I'm gonna tape a middle finger to the bottom of it, so every time I tip it back, he knows how I feel
That's if you win.
when I win.
Oh.
That's messed up.
Oh.
Fuck, we all know I'm not gonna win. The only times I've won any games is when Erica gives me sympathy points.
I'm
It's
gonna
true.
tape Matt sucks to the bottom of mine.
That's fine.
Every time he links.
That's fine. It's not even the worst thing. We have a password for one of the mailboxes at work. It is just Matt sucks !
Is it SUX?
Yep.
I love it.
M4TTSUX ! And it has been that for like 6 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I hope, like, if you ever do eventually get a new job, that it just stays.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
I'm afraid the darkest hours of hell lie before you. I don't think they'll kill you, Lawrence, but they will blame you. The beast will have its day. The beast will out.
Now that we have declared our unfair winner,
Matt.
it is now 4-4, and we are going to the next segment of the show, which is the end of the show. But we're doing something a little bit different from here on out on Monster Madness. Instead of saying whether or not we recommend it to you, we're going to talk more about would we watch this movie again. So we're switching it from are we recommending this movie or not to will we ever watch this movie again? And I can say with complete confidence that this will be deleted off my Plex tonight. And I will probably never watch it again unless... Never.
Nope, I'll never watch it again. Boom, roasted.
Dan?
Yeah.
I will.
How many
not
times
watch
did you
this
watch
again.
it to get ready for this episode?
I did watch it 5 times because it was that boring. And I was like, I got to be missing something. There's got to be a good part. And there wasn't too many good
Sometimes things are
parts.
just bad.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I got to watch it 5 times. I might get schooled on something. And we didn't dive into it as deeply as I thought we were going to. But
Let me just
we
tell
hit
you
all the
right
good
now,
points.
the future, when the movie is that bad,
Don't
I'm not...
watch it 5 times.
That's number one. And I'm not going to go shot for shot on it.
No.
So will I watch 1941's Wolfman again? Absolutely. If it's on TV, I won't be mad that it's on. If I see Benicio del Toro turn it into a werewolf on my TV, I may unplug it.
So this got a 35 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes is hot garbage.
It is, but that seems like kind of high for it. It got a
There's 2
5
different
point.
types.
What's that?
Isn't there's other stuff too, right?
There's like movie phone. There's a
Yeah,
bunch of other. There's a
others, yeah.
everything's a rating system anymore.
I think our TV says it.
Yeah, our
I'm
TV
always
like
trying to figure out what
Plex,
it is.
Plex gives you the Rotten Tomatoes score now. Yeah.
though. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does, and also gives doesn't
the
it give us a
movie
different
phone.
thing? Okay, that's what it was. I'm trying to figure it out.
You can get a Fandango score as well. You can get an IMDb score. It's all going to be low. Though, like on Twitter,
Unless
like I'll
for Toy
see.
Story 4.
What does that mean?
100%.
Toy Story 4 got a 97%.
Did it really?
Yeah, I think a lot of those
It's
kids'
pretty
movies are going to get really, really high all the time.
It deserves 105.
Have
Did you
seen
see it?
Toy Story 4, yeah.
I mean, you have a child. I don't. It's just creepy if
I would have watched. I
Watched
would
it
have
like
watched it
20
without the
times
child.
already.
No, we'll watch it eventually. There's just so many other movies to get through.
It's a tearjerker.
Yeah, I have it on my Plex if you want.
I saw that. We haven't even watched The Secret Life of Pets 2 because she's gonna cry.
I don't think we watched that yet. No, we haven't watched it because Evelyn
I've seen the first one.
strictly wants to watch one movie over and over and over again. And
Back to
I think
Sluts 9.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, actually. Yeah,
Actually,
right now
that's better.
we're back to the Future. She was on the Addams Family for a bit. But so all three of us will never watch this movie again unless forced to by evil doers. So with that brings us to the end of this episode of Monster Madness. Like I said earlier, next week we will be covering 2017's The Mummy. Dan will be taking the reins on that one.
I will be your host for that one.
Pretty excited to have a very detailed overview of that movie. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Reddit. We are all over the internet. Just search Monster Madness Podcast everywhere, and you should be able to find us. We're on all your favorite podcatchers. If you feel so obliged, you can get TeePublic merch if you want our logo on a shirt. I am currently wearing one right now. It is very comfortable. We wear them all the time because they're very soft. You can also become a Patreon and support the show, which would be really greatly appreciated. For as little as $2 a month, you can get early access to our episodes. As little as $5 a month, you can get early access to episodes, videos of us recording the episodes, and all of the mishaps that happen inevitably during our recording sessions. And if you don't want to spend any money at all, you can head on over to iTunes and give us a rating and review. That helps people find the show, and it really gives us, a nice little boost of confidence that people are liking the show. And if you give us a 5-star rating, I will gladly read it on air. So with that, thank you for listening. Don't ever watch this movie, and I hope you guys have a great day, evening, night, whatever you're doing. I hope you are doing good in the world. See you later.
You moron. Tonight I will kill all of you. I will kill all of you!
Yes, well, as you can see, like country
Please do something about it!